Deadites and Ghost Beaters, and if you're new to the channel, I am Old Head Gaming, and if one thing we talk about a lot on this channel, it's all the Evil Dead universe, whether it's the movies, whether it's the series, the comics, the video game, of course, and Evil Dead Rise is right around the corner. It's coming out next month. The reviews are coming in amazing, and the publicity is starting to go pretty hardcore, with everyone getting a chance to talk to Bruce and Sam and Lee Cronin, and everyone's getting the chance to say what they want to say. And one of the things that has come up is this quote, and I think everyone's kind of buzzing about it, because I think we all want that conclusion to Ash's story, and here's what Bruce said. During a recent interview with Fangora, Bruce Campbell revealed he'd consider returning to play Ash in a new Evil Dead project if his longtime friend and original director Sam also returned. I'll go on the record. These guys don't scare me. I worked on Xena, so nothing scares me. If Sam says Sam Raimi, will direct another Evil Dead movie, then I, Bruce Campbell, will consider being in it. I don't want to be Ash tended to by other people. Sam's the meanest director I've ever worked with, and Ash needs a little bit of that to shine. And I think Sam's the only director now who I won't punch in the face making an Evil Dead movie. I'm just saying, I've called Rob and Sam out. I'm not the coward they think I am. I just want the right circumstances. Because Sam, even though he's done studio movies, he's still a good director, Raimi laughs. So I want Sam. I'll do it for Sam. And this has kind of been going on the last couple of weeks. Sam has gone record saying he's working on a script for a brand new sequel, not to Evil Dead, but to Evil Dead universe, Evil Dead adjacent Drag Me to Hell, which I think would be very interesting. Hopefully Justin Long comes back for that, and we're going to start to see this possibility that Evil Dead Rise, which is the third Necronomicon, might not be the last movie, and I'm really excited for this because as an Ash fan, I think we have two possible ways it's going to go, and it depends on how they want to treat it. Is it direct sequel to Army of Darkness? And if it is, I assume it's going to be this ending?
Manufactured products. Oh God! No! I slept too long!
If you have not seen that before, that was actually the original ending of Army of Darkness. I know we've talked about this on the channel plenty of times, but Sam wanted Ash to end up in this dystopian future where basically he's the last man standing versus evil. And of course, Ash versus the Evil Dead kind of ended up in the same place after Ash defeated Kandar by firing the tank with the Kandarian dagger into him. And then, of course, he was like kind of put in cellophane by the Knights of Samaria and then wakes up in the future where he's got the bomber jacket, he's got a new cyborg, Luke Skywalker-esque hand, Lexi the cyborg's waiting for him as a representative of the Knights of Samaria, and of course you got the tricked out Delta with the Hail to the King reference on it, which is really good. And then she's like referring to him as sire, as like all the Knights of Samaria does, and he's like, where's my daughter? And she's like, I'll explain on the way. And the Dark Ones are kind of running amok, and the world's a wasteland, kind of like Sam wanted. I think it was that second chance at finally showing what Ash was going to do to save the world in this dystopian future, destroyed by the Dark Ones, destroyed by the Necronomicon, destroyed by evil. That's absolutely the way a fourth and final film of Ash would go. And I think that'd be much more interesting, in my opinion, if they kind of just let Sam direct a grand-esque reunion battle against the Dark Ones, kind of like a continuation of both. You know, you had this divergence of the Ashes from the Army of Darkness conclusion and the Ash versus Evil Dead conversion into this final, basically grand movie, probably about 90 to 120 minutes. And it's basically Ash with Pablo, Brandy, Kelly, and Lexi going off and defeating the Dark Ones once and for all. If you want to try to bring in Ruby for one last hurrah, you can do that. Like, I think it's a really cool way to close the universe and kind of tie everything together, because Ash vs. the Evil Dead kind of got left in its own universe. There were some fights between Stars and MGM over a lot of different things, and now would be this one final way to tie everything together. close out Ash's story properly. If you want to continue with Brandy then as the chosen one, you can really do that. You have the separate lines with 2013 and Evil Dead Rise on the other two Necronomicons, and it puts the Evil Dead franchise in an awesome place, and it really finally ties up Ash's story. Now, of course, they've talked about just continuing the series as an animated, which I think would be really, really cool, because you can kind of do anything, and, you know, Ash would just be voiced by Bruce, and Kelly would be voiced by Dana, etc., etc., and you could just basically continue the story from there. And I think this is the perfect way to conclude it. You let Ash and his daughter and his sidekicks wrap it up. A Ash versus the Evil Dead conclusion with Sam at the helm kind of ties everything together and would make for an amazing movie that I think we would all watch over and over again. With Sam's touch on what was going to be a awesome conclusion, the final transition into the apocalypse that, you know, Sam has always kind of been directing us into, and they kind of got us there again in Ash vs. the Evil Dead. And I think it's time now to go back to the future. I want to hear your thoughts. As always, let me know. Do you agree? Do you think that's the only place to take it? Do you think it would just go basically from Hail to the King, conclusion of Army of Darkness, which I don't think Sam wants to do, but I could be wrong. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.